Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Gia and Pete. I'm just so happy to be here, and I know like all of us are so happy. You guys are an amazing couple. Also, thank you to Aunt Kathy and Uncle George for putting this on, and I know that Nani and Papa wish they could be here, but that's okay. We'll video and send them later. I'm just gonna try and make it like short and sweet, but basically, Gia's like my older sister. I mean, the four of us are cousins, but yeah. So I've just looked up to you my whole life, and everything you've done, I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Thanks for teaching me. And then next, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get there next. We'll see. So yes, and Pete, I think of you pretty much like a brother. Like, you just fit in right into our family so much. I mean, as y'all know, a lot of you know, the family that we have can be a little rough around the edges. You know? We bring our own wine to our dinners, like tonight, making sure it's under $10. If there's any extra napkins, please bring them home with us. We'll take them. Yes, you fit right in. And I just really look up to your relationship. I lived with them. I just moved here a year ago, and I lived with them for a few months. Luckily, 2 months. They were like, after 2 months I'll find a place, but luckily I had a kidney stone, so I got another free month of rent. But honestly, they were amazing to live with, and they're pretty much like my parents, who also Pete drove to the airport, to the hospital and was having it, and Gia was just like rubbing my hair, like, it's gonna be okay, thinking I'm gonna die. And Pete, doesn't run any red lights, so it took a little longer.
You urged me to, though. You told me to run that red.
I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but you all will also be amazing, incredible parents. You honestly have the most beautiful, genuine love that I've seen in the kindest of hearts. And I also attribute their relationship a lot to trust. And especially in the past few years, we've had to trust a lot of what's going on, right? And love and trusting that everything will be okay. I know that putting this wedding together was a lot for you, for both of you. And so, yeah, I just want to put it up to trust. I think it's beautiful. Pete bought this beautiful house on the beach, and I know they're going to fill it with a beautiful family. So yes, just trusting and everything will be okay, whether it's God or trusting in the universe, everything will be amazing. And I know that you all will be amazing partners, and I don't know, I just love you all so much. So thank you, everyone.
Beautiful rehearsal dinner for us all. We greatly appreciate it. To start with, I'm not going to say let's gather the elders, the matriarchs. It didn't go over well 3 years ago. We're not doing it tonight. All right? So,
That's good.
that's good.
You're welcome, Pete.
We asked. So I never knew that we were going to have a destination wedding. I want to let you know that when Pete was a little kid at 5 years old, he could look at the map of the United States and tell any state, and he always could find California. And I guess this was where his heart always was, because he's found Gia in San Diego, California. All right. Well, I was been thinking about the role of the parents in the marriage ceremony. Certainly the father bride, George, you have a big role. You get to walk Gia down the aisle. You get to give her away. You get a special dance with her. And you give a speech. Good luck with yours. My first one was horrible. All right. The mother of the groom, she gets the special dance with the son. The mother of the bride and the father of the groom, we're like, what are you? This what? We had something to do with it at the very beginning. Pete, I'm glad, has finally met his special person, but his first and only true love will be Holly the dog. She will give him a million kisses anytime she sees him. So Gia, please don't be jealous. Pete, you and I have been together since the bells, the whistles, the ambulance ride. We've seen you grow up. We've seen you graduate, oh God, college and law school, and now you're getting married. We're so proud of you, me and Mom. We haven't known you for very long, but thank God you're not the typical Californian girl. Tattoos and abnormal piercings. But I do want to tell you that you know how special you are to Pete. Every time I see that he looks at you, you can tell you're the special one for him. And we are so happy that the two of you are together. Your parents have done a great job of raising you. And I know that, yes, go ahead. Definitely. And I know you're okay with me because you've tolerated all of my cooking. By the way, I don't know how many of you speak Italian, but Gia in Italian means already. And we are all ready to accept you and have you enter into the Maggiore family. Nella nostra famiglia. Welcome to our family. One last thing, always trust in each other, love each other, and always be honest. We love you both.
Video.
Say hello to my little friend.
Everybody's laughing at Jeff. It's a video.
Yeah, take your time, man. No rush.
Video. It's a video. It's a video. 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 Yeah, video.
I mean, first off, how's the food, right? I want to thank Ultramar for having us. Gia's one of Gia's favorite spots, so compliments to the chef, and thank you so much. I want to thank my parents for having us and hosting. And I just want to welcome everyone, especially the Maggiore family. Welcome. And we're so excited to celebrate this special event with us. I just love the synergy of the upstate New York Italian family. Connection right away. My mom's family's over there. So yeah, Gia Melissa Mayo Maggiore. It doesn't get much more Italian than that. It's beautiful. It's got a ring to it, and we're half Italian, and but it's always been a big part of who we are. It comes from both sides of our family. And, I like to say, being half Italian, the Italian side usually eats the other half. It's culture. So, I was the annoying little brother growing up. I was just trying to get attention from her, and she. It's probably most annoying though when I would sneak into her room before her friends got in and hide in the closet to hear about the middle school drama. Problem with that was I was never really good at holding in a sneeze, so that didn't work out. I remember one time she almost killed me.
One time?
One time. So yeah, there's an Italian friend that I have in Asheville, and she was explaining about a feud, an escalating feud she was having with her mother, and she said, you know, yeah, we're Italian, we fight hard. And I thought that was super well put, and that's what my sister and I did. We fought extremely hard. Actually, we just did 15 minutes ago. And yeah, you know, I had my own pride about it. Who needs her? I had my guy friends in the community who I looked up to as my big brothers. But as we matured and we grew closer, and in hindsight, I'd be lying if I didn't say that my big sister didn't teach me a lot, paved the way, and have a huge influence on me. I mean, in many respects, I had it easy. So, you know, my sister wasn't reckless, but she was also no goody-good. And this was my parents' first child coming through high school. So after trying to manage her curfew and her catching her after a beer or three, it really, by the time I got to high school, I was like, all right, let's be real, this Gia thing didn't work out. I'm going to get home at 1 a.m., I'm going to be in one piece, and I won't drive. How's that? I was like, all right, cool, that's fine. So, thank you, Gia. You know, the first one through the wall always gets a little bruised. So. I was spoiled in that way, but also my sister kind of had to work harder than me, always, in that, like, my parents instilled a really good work ethic in us, but I was like, you know, I'm playing sports, I'm training in the weight room, in practice, but here I am in the shadow of someone who at 14 had 4 babysitting clients and worked at Panera Bread all throughout high school, and so it was tough, but you know, even today, I'm like, hey, maybe those back-to-back 12-hour days in the salon, you can maybe cut back a little bit, but she loves it, and she is a hard worker, and she does love it, and that's another thing that she really inspired in me, is the ability to do what you love. I mean, that and the unwavering support of my parents to encourage us to do what we love had me, you know, go and build an acting career. So she was an example for me in that way too, and I really appreciate that. I'm grateful for that. So there she was in her mid-20s, and she had built up a robust and loyal and loving clientele. She was in a wonderful city she was comfortable with friends and family around, and really the only thing missing in her life was the man. And that was kind of a tough time, you know. And my sister, she's the strong-willed Italian woman. She knows what she wants when she wants it, and that's what she wanted next. So she was after it, going on all these dates that were kind of a mismatch, and you know those nights where you wonder if you're going to find true love. I'm sure we've always been there. All of us have been there. But I saw her continue to put herself out there and keep the faith and go through that time. And I think she grew a lot socially, spiritually, and emotionally. And for that, I'm just so proud of you. So thank you. So then Pete came along, and
so there Pete. Here comes Pete. Last but not least. And I'm an outsider. I'm not.
I've never been one to really be the protective brother of who my sister is dating, and I think mostly it's because I trust her. You know, I know she's gonna find someone who's kind, respectful, and good to her, and that's exactly what she found with Pete. I mean, you can't ask for a better guy. And you know, those who know me know I'm really into, you know, I'm an actor, the emotions and emotional maturity and personal development. And you know, of course, my family's the biggest test. They still bug the crap out of me sometimes. And, you know, my favorite Ram Dass quote is, if you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your family. But as I've watched Pete, you know, work with my sister and kind of integrate with my family and work with them, it's wonderful to see him interact with them with grace, ease, a compassionate heart, an open mind. And so you got to teach me your ways, man. I need some help.
There's honesty.
So lastly, I've seen some of the best versions of my sister lately as she's dated Pete the last few years. And I think that's all you can ask for, is someone who brings out the best in you. You know, one of my favorite things about my sister is she's silly and playful. I think that's part of her essence, and I see that a lot in Pete. So thank you for bringing that out in her. And that's not to say I haven't seen them in challenging times and sensed them in challenging times too. And I've seen them work through it together and work on themselves. And I think that's just another example how she and now they are setting a good example for me and paving the way. So I'll go ahead and, oh no, my glass. I'll go ahead and if we can raise our glasses to Gia and Pete, bringing out the best of each other. Love you both. And as Nancy taught us last night, there's cheers, but maybe we'll end this one with a salute.
The cook, the chef.
He needs to have a shot.
I'm one of the, I don't know, a couple people to represent the law school contingent. Pete and I met on the first day of law school before classes actually started. I was there for, I think it was called the Michigan Access Program, which is to promote diversity among the student body for obvious reasons. And Pete was there too, but he wasn't part of it. He should have been the Italian, but for some reason not. So Pete and I met the first night. I think we were both in Michigan, and we've been really, really close friends ever since. Pete is an amazing, loyal friend. He is the type of friend who will do anything for his buddies. When we were at Michigan, my car was impounded and sold at an auction. So every now and then I needed to go get groceries, and he would let me borrow his blue Saturn.
Still has it. Still has it.
And Pete's the guy who would let his buddy keep borrowing that Saturn even after his buddy backs it into a pole. And again, still, Pete's had a really successful locker room. And he, as you all know, he still drives the same Saturn. It is super refreshing. Pete, so I'm from California. And yeah, woo. And, I always, dreamt of coming back here. I had an engineering background and wanted to get into intellectual property law. Pete was from the Northeast and had not a technical background, and found his way to probably the most prominent IP litigation law firms in the country, in the most beautiful metropolitan area in California. Because he's a damn smart guy and a really hard worker, and I admire you very much. If I ever find the wrong side of the law in a way that you can help me with, you're the type of guy. You're the type of guy that I would call in an absolute heartbeat over really anybody else. So I really respect you as a lawyer and as a friend, obviously. We've remained close. I'm just an hour up the way, and you know, my wife Selby and Gia have gotten to know one another, and it is the greatest gift when our spouses, the spouse of my buddy, gets along so well with my wife. They've hung out more than they hang out now more than we do. And I'm so selfishly I'm so happy that Pete found you, so that you and Selby can connect when you connect, and it's been awesome. One more really quick one. Pete is also the type of friend who will drop everything and travel out to Vegas for a Britney Spears concert. And will have a front row seat and will have driven out to Vegas to do this, and will give up his ticket so that Selby could go instead.
Aww. Pete.
She needed to see you throw those dollars at the back.
That's a different story. Anyway, Pete, I love you. Thanks for being my bud.
All right, well, that's tough to follow. Thanks. I'm Matt Boucher, also went to law school with Pete, also met him at the diversity program, obviously. So I don't want to repeat a lot of the things that Justin said, although I could. So I'll talk a little bit about what Pete has taught me. Pete taught me how to cook. So our first day, we all lived together for 2 years, and my first day in the apartment, I set the fire alarm off cooking popcorn. So the upside of Pete teaching me how to cook is that I can make all of the good Italian dishes now. The downside is that if we don't have 35 people with us, I've made too much food. I wouldn't have made it through law school without Pete. We studied for every law school exam together. We probably ate 30 pounds of peanut M&Ms together. He taught me how big of a Dunkin' Donut iced coffee you can get.
But it's never big enough.
No, it's never big enough. But maybe most importantly, Pete has always been incredibly kind and loyal and willing to do, like Justin said, anything for you, including be your partner in a male beauty contest. I don't know what So Pete and I dabbled in a male beauty contest in law school, where Pete was nice enough to be on stage with me, dancing in a choreographed unit, where I had on some leather and Pete may or may not have been in a dress. But he pulled it off, so he taught me he can dance in heels too.
That was a big woman, whoever did that.
Yes. So I couldn't be happier for you, and Gia, I'm so happy that you've joined this family too. I'm sorry that I'm bringing myself into that, but couldn't be happier. So here's to both of you. Thank you so much for getting this what you guys did. So.
Anybody else wants to say?
You have to understand, we're all transients in this world, in San Diego. And George and Kathy moved in when Gia was 3 and Marco was 6 months-ish, 2 doors down. And Allison and Paul were my neighbors across the street. And we became family. And we didn't have family. And it was a big deal. Every birthday, every holiday, everything was together. And when they say it takes a village to raise your kids, we were our village. And I mean, family, I have an amazing family that flew in and were there. My parents, they still call Grandma and Grandpa. Melanie said to me tonight at the table, she says, you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. And we were there for each other. I have watched Gia grow up. Gia in her curly hair used to run over to our house and knock on the door, and we'd be like, come on in. And Marco used to throw fits on my, Kathy and George would be like, can you just handle him? You can't take him. And who said to me tonight, does he You're handling his adult fits. This one right here. Anyway, I am so blessed to call these human beings my family.
Oh.
I mean, beyond. So Gia, my daughter. We adopted our daughter, and Gia became my babysitter. My aunt to my daughter, right? She was there for me every step of the way, for everything I needed. And just love her to death. And she says to me one day, she's like, man, I don't know, my life's going good, but what the fuck am I doing? I'm sorry. She's like, what? I can't find a dude. Like, I know, they're tough. They're tough. And then one day she calls me, or texts me, I think. Want to come to Temecula? Like, I do. Day after Thanksgiving, oh, yeah, sure, I'll drive up. No problem. We love Temecula, right? We used to take our kids there, remember? Do the pool. We go wine tasting and leave the kids in the pool. No, not really. And so I said I went up. And so I walk in and she said, this is Pete. I'm like, he's your husband. Like within 5 seconds, I knew you were the one.
No. Good one.
It just clicked. And we had an amazing weekend. And I just know you two are, like my daughter said to me when she got married last year, I said, they came to me and said, what should we do? I said, be partners. Be partners. You two are. You're in for the long haul. And I am so honored to be a part of this entire journey. Your family, incredible. Incredible. Like,
Totally.
and you have to understand the Italian, we're all Italian, okay? I mean, I'm not Italian, but I'm Italian. And this just works. So raise your glasses, toast to you.